Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us today. I'm really happy to be here, and I truly believe that today is the best time in history to be a photographer. Technology is rapidly developing all around us, from DSLRs to 100 megapixel mirrorless cameras, drones, and cameras that can fly and record high quality video with the push of a button. iPhones and mobile devices with built-in cameras that can make hundreds of instant AI decisions before you even click the shutter. It's not only cameras, but it's also the sensors and how much data and dynamic range is contained within a single RAW file. Using software like Luminar AI, we can push the boundaries of our imaginations while maintaining precise control over the shadows, midtones, and highlights. This means we can quickly achieve perfect contrast, rich details, and lifelike color. I believe that today we are all photographers, whether we call ourselves one or not. And every photographer in the world, no matter what the experience level, has one thing in common. We all want to make our images better. The making of a great photo doesn't end when you click the shutter. In a lot of ways, that's where it just begins. In post-processing, we can start to bring these images to life. That's why I'm so excited about Luminar AI. While planning and capturing your images is very important, taking time to finish your images, to truly bring out the colors and details, can make all the difference. I've been a professional travel photographer since 2009. And for well over a decade, I've been refining my artistic process over the course of millions of miles, nearly 70 countries, and countless destinations. Like all artists, I keep trying to improve my process and push myself to create better photos with each trip I take. When I started out building my portfolio as a travel photographer, I wanted to create something unique out of some of the most familiar places. At that point in history, I knew it was going to be a combination of iconic locations, strong composition, targeted times of day, and a good amount of post-processing, and just really trying to create wow factor in my images. My style was built on a foundation of trial and error, learning to recognize what I wanted to achieve both in the field and in post-processing, and then figuring out how to actually do it. And what I quickly learned is that no matter the amount of post-processing, this wow factor begins with finding the soul of an image. I started to think of my subjects as uncut gemstones that just needed a little refinement so they could show their true inner potential. This turned into a game of finding the locations and then understanding them. What kind of light, the types of weather or seasons, and how that could portray this in the most beautiful way possible. And occasionally along the way, I'd also do some laundry. I started to favor certain times of day, like the golden hour, the last moments before the sun sets behind the horizon, or the first few minutes of dawn's early light, sunset, burning skies, and how that can transform an image from good to epic. Blue hour, the time between sunset and full dark, the best time to capture a harmony of natural and artificial light. Dynamic weather, or as I like to call it, sky drama, thunderstorms, and capturing the power of a lightning storm. Fog, a way to make landscapes or cityscapes look otherworldly. And of course, astrophotography and stars. While this technical process of capturing these images was so vitally important, to me it was still just the core. Things really started to come alive in post-processing. This is when we can create images with wow factor, images that catch your eye whether you're bouncing through your newsfeed on Instagram, Facebook, and social media, or images that feel alive when they're hanging in galleries or on the living room wall. I want to make images that people instantly know are mine, with a style and quality that I'm proud to call my own. And now, what used to take hours to accomplish can be done in a matter of minutes. Everything you've seen is broken down into a few easy steps: shooting, raw file adjustment, and adding the wow factor. Wow factor includes deep contrast, selective saturation, color separation, and any number of small selective adjustments that make up the whole of an image. It's taking the time to reveal all of those details and enhance the image to reveal its full potential. Historically, many of these small adjustments were tied up in very complex procedures or techniques that are so complicated that they can be intimidating to learn. That's one of the reasons that AI is so exciting to me. I already know where I want to go with an edit and what I want to do with an image, but now with Luminar AI, I can get there much faster. Here's an example. It begins with planning and shooting, finding a unique composition and capturing it. Then it's on to raw file adjustments in Luminar AI, correcting the exposure and the white balance, and then once I feel like the image has a good balance, I give it my look with a few of the AI tools and some super contrast. This is how we can make an image our own, and where we can create unlimited personal styles and looks. This is the castle of San Marino, and sometimes environmental elements like fog can wash out an image. Accent AI can intelligently fix that while adding rich contrast and details. Hong Kong, they call it the city of life. Now with some editing, we can really bring it to life by using Accent AI along with super contrast to separately control the contrast in the shadows, midtones, and highlights. This is also when AI tools can take the center stage and automate even the most complex technical processes. Even with my 20+ years of post-processing experience, sky replacement can still be tough to get right. But Luminar AI sky replacement not only gets it right, the edge blending is perfect, and it even allows you to relight the scene using similar tones that would already be found in the sky. Rome, with one click of a button, you can replace almost any sky, and you can even add in the reflection. Santorini, using AI sky replacement, you can create a very artistic and high quality result. In a world where we all have access to incredible cameras and we can all travel almost anywhere to take the same photo of the same location, how will you make your images better? As artists, this is what we figure out over time. And my workflow has constantly evolved over the years to incorporate the latest tools and technologies. There is no reason that post-processing has to be complicated. It shouldn't matter how long it takes to create an image or how difficult it was. There is no cheating in photography because it's not a game. It's an art form. And when it comes down to it, it's the results that matter the most. There's an unfortunate misconception that when it comes to AI, automation means that all photos will look the same, or that since these new tools simplify and sometimes completely solve complex artistic and technical problems, that they somehow will render the artists obsolete. This is simply not true. You can't teach a computer to be intuitive or creative. You can't teach a computer to know when a feeling matters more than technical accuracy. And you certainly can't teach a computer to create from a place of vulnerability. The heart and soul of an image must still be there, whether that's a breathtaking landscape or a perfect, candid moment. And while these AI tools certainly automate complex processes, they also do it intelligently, meaning that they treat every image as something unique. So the results will always vary based on the type of photo beneath. And the primary source for this AI is from top creative photographers and artists from all over the world. The Luminar team gets thousands of high-quality images from artists like myself who believe that AI is the future. They use these images to help Luminar learn how to solve complex problems, how to perfect exposures, and how to recognize and enhance the details. I'm excited to be standing here today and talking about this pivotal time in photography, and I'm proud of Team Luminar for what they've been able to accomplish. These new AI tools are just the beginning, and they can empower all of us, whether we've been photographers for 30 seconds or 30 years, to more easily achieve our creative visions. As I said in the beginning, it's an exciting time for photography with new and amazing tools being developed all around us. And I encourage you to get out there and explore and capture the beautiful world around us. Thanks for joining us today. We have an incredible program. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.